Happy Friday. It is parlay time. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another episode for Just a Bet Outside. Happy Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. We got some best bets for you. But before we dive into all that, holy crap, guys. 3,000 views on the last video. Over 125 new subscribers since the last video. I cannot thank you guys enough. I'm humbled. I'm not going to get emotional on camera for you guys, but from where we started just 9 months ago, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you very much. It's an awesome community that we have here, Discord, everywhere. So thanks again. All right, no more blabbing about that. But now we got good hitter matchups for you, good pitcher matchups. I got three best bets, and then of course the Friday parlay, baby. I can't wait. We are due for a winner on that one. We got a big game today. Also, we got the Braves and the Blue Jays. I know I got a lot of Blue Jay fans out there. It's Spencer Strider on the mound versus the Blue Jays. What is going to give an elite starting pitcher versus that really good Blue Jays lineup? That should be a fun one to watch. We do not have a bet on that game, but leave a comment who you think is going to win that game. That's going to be a fun one. So, like, comment, subscribe. I don't need to tell you guys. You guys are absolutely crushing it. Over 200 likes last video. Comments are coming everywhere. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Five of the six games yesterday were decided by 2 runs or more. Just want to throw that out there. So if you're looking at some run lines, I've been seeing a lot of 2 runs or more type wins. But that's where we're at, guys. I'm ready to roll. Let's start with the bets recap page. There we are, 2-1. That's a 5-1 run we're on. Not too bad. There we go. Bailey Obear, 4+ Ks and under 9.5. That was Sweaty McSweatersons, guys. That was close. It was at 8 runs at the end of the game. I think they had the bases loaded too with 2 out. The Twins did, and yeah, that got dicey. Or maybe it was the Padres. But either way, it was close. We were stressing out in the Discord. Domingo Herman, screw off. Over 5.5 Ks. He wasn't even close. At one point, I didn't think he'd get more than one strikeout. He ended with, I think, three. He didn't give up any runs, or maybe they counted a run or two against him once he got pulled out. But he pitched a good game. He just could not strike anybody out. It was unbelievable. But it is what it is. And then Yandy Diaz and Christian Walker, 1+ hit each. Diaz got it, I think, in his third at bat, and Walker got it, I believe, in his very first at bat. So we went off the hitter props, and they worked out. We got a winner, -110. 2-1 for the day, plus 0.85 units. We are up almost 4.5 units on the year at 81 and 76. Let's keep winning, guys. Let's keep the roll going. End the week strong. Let's start with those good hitter matchups. All right, here we go. We got 6 good hitter matchups for you, and guess who number one is? It's the same guy all the time, it seems like. Yandy Diaz, 13 for 44, 1 home run off of Garrett Cole. Then we got Manny Machado, 7 for 27, 2 home runs versus Dustin May. I know it's only a 259 average. It's not that great, but one of the better ones for the day. And then Chris Taylor, he is 6 for 24 with 3 home runs versus Blake Snell. Again, I know that's only 250 average, but that's the most home runs of anybody in matchups today with the 3 bombs. He also has 11 strikeouts versus Snell. So just wanted to let you know on that. Ketel Marte, 6 for 20, 1 home run off of Ross Stripling. And then his teammate, Nick Ahmed, is 7 for 15 with 2 bombs off of Stripling. And then the final one, Trey Mancini of the Cubs, is 7 for 15 with 2 doubles and 1 home run off of Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is pitching like a Cy Young candidate right now. It's unbelievable. So, anyways, those are the best 6 hitter matchups. Let's go to the pitcher matchups. All right, here we go. We got 4 good pitcher strikeout matchups, and that starts with Matthew Boyd versus my Seattle Mariners. Mariners have the fourth highest K percentage versus lefties this season, but they are actually the highest. They have the highest K percentage versus lefties in the last 3 weeks, so it's only getting worse. Matthew Boyd, 28 Ks in 30.2 innings. All right, we got Drew Smiley, the second one, versus the Twins. Twins, third highest K percentage versus lefties at 28.3%. Smiley has 34 Ks in 38 innings. He does have a 10 strikeout game versus the Dodgers, but in his other 6 starts, other than that 10 strikeout game, he's averaging 4 Ks per game. So just something to keep in mind. Third one and fourth one are in the same game, 2 different pitchers. Blake Snell versus the Dodgers. Dodgers, fifth highest K percentage versus lefties. Snell has 39 Ks in 35 innings. He just pitched against the Dodgers in his last start, and he had 6 strikeouts versus them on May 6th. Now the other side, Dustin May. Dustin May was the other pitcher in that game versus Blake Snell. He's going against the Padres, obviously. Fourth highest K percentage versus righties. The Padres have at 25.1%. We've been hitting, I think, two in a row now on pitchers facing the Padres on strikeout props. Dustin May has 29 Ks in 40.1 innings. It's kind of shocking to me, to be honest. He has some nasty stuff. He's just not getting a ton of strikeouts, so I expect him to get better with that. But yeah, he had six last game against the Padres as well. So those are the four best pitcher strikeout matchups. It is time. Let's get into the best bets. All right, here we go. Game number one: the Mets at the Nationals. Mets money line minus 135. Nationals money line plus 115. Over under of 9 runs. Guys, this is going to shock you, but the Mets are only at 1.5 games ahead of the Nationals. That's how much the Mets are struggling this year. They got swept by the Tigers, then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockies, then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds. I mean, it is struggle city in New York, in Queens. The fans are not happy right now. They're struggling to hit. My best bet in this game, it's going to hurt coming out of my mouth. The Nationals' first five money line. That's right. We're going with them. It's at plus 108. It's about even offenses, to be honest with you. But let's get into the matchup. Tyler McGill for the Mets. He's given up anywhere from 2 to 4 earned runs in every single start except one. So he's pretty consistently given around that 3 run mark. 4.33 ERA, 5.28 expected ERA, and he only has a 17.3% K rate. Now, the Nationals, the last 3 weeks. Okay, McGill's a righty. The Nats are 19th in WRC plus and OPS versus righties, and they're also a 6-4 in their last 10 games. Now, 19th is not phenomenal, but that is to show you that they are actually improving with their lineup. They were dead last in pretty much everything at the beginning of the season, so they're creeping towards the middle of the pack versus righties. And as you can tell, they're 6-4 in the last 10, playing much better baseball than the Mets are right now. I'll tell you that. And then the other side, probably one of the most underrated, consistent pitchers in the league right now for the Nationals. It's Mackenzie Gore, the big, tall lefty, finally starting to live up to his hype before the trade from the Padres. He's given up 2 earned runs or less in 5 of 7 starts, and I just think he's just the consistency that he has for a young pitcher is pretty incredible. I know the Padres were waiting for this from him, but they didn't quite get it. 3.65 ERA, 3.66 expected ERA. Only 22.3% hard contact. He is an absolutely elite ground ball pitcher. He is getting 55 over 55% ground balls, which is in the 89th percentile. Pretty impressive. So now he's a lefty. The Mets versus lefties. When we go to the other side, 20th in WRC plus, 22nd in OPS, 24th in batting average. I mean, we're not looking at if you just look at these two teams and just take the name out of it. I mean, the Nats are playing as good, if not better, than the Mets. The matchup is better because Mackenzie Gore is a better pitcher than Tyler McGill. Mets do not hit lefties well, especially good lefties like Gore. So I have the Nats first five money line. I love the value at plus 108. I am not trusting the Nationals bullpen whatsoever, so I'm just sticking to the first five money line. If they tie, it's a push, but I expect them to be ahead. That's why I'm making the bet. So Nats first five money line, bet number one. Let's move on to game number two. All right, here we go. Game number two: the Cardinals versus the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox money line minus 120. Cardinals money line plus 100. Over under of a whopping 10 runs. My best bet in this game, guys, it is the Red Sox team total over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings at minus 120. I almost bet the over 10 in this game, but I decided to go with the Red Sox team total. So let's just talk about that matchup. The Cardinals pitcher, Adam Wainwright, maybe Hall of Famer, but he's 41 years old now. He doesn't have it. He doesn't miss a lot of bats anymore. In his only start this year, he gave up 4 earned runs to the Tigers. He had a 4.23 expected ERA last year. His fastball is averaging only about 88 miles an hour. Like I said, he doesn't miss a lot of bats. And the Boston Red Sox are one of the best teams in the majors at striking out, meaning they're not striking out much. So there's going to be a lot of balls in play. It's going to be great weather, 70 degrees, wind blowing out. The Red Sox, it's just wild how good they are right now. Number one batting average versus right-handed pitching. Number two OPS versus right-handed pitching. Number two WRC plus. And like I said, they have the second lowest K rate versus right-handers. This is as elite of an offense as it gets. Adam Wainwright, the 41-year-old, respect to him. He's not the same guy anymore. I expect the Red Sox to hit him all over the ballpark. Get at least 3 runs in the first five. That is my second best bet of the day. Let's move on to that final game. All right, here we go. The Texas Rangers at the Oakland A's. Texas money line minus 190. A's money line plus 160. Over under of 8.5 runs. I'm going to get right into my best bet. It is the Rangers -1.5 at -111. The A's suck. Let's fade them. Now, pitching matchup. Martin Perez for the Rangers. And you know who it is. We keep mentioning it. I don't know why we do. How much Chuck would a Waldachuk chuck if a Waldachuk could chuck wood? Oh, I said that right. That's pretty good. Ken Waldachuk is on the mound again. It is Fade City, baby. Let's start out with Martin Perez, though. 3 earned runs in 6 or less. Sorry, let's start that over. 3 earned runs or less in 6 of his last 7 starts. His worst start was actually his last game. He gave up 7 runs to the Angels. Other than that, he's been pretty solid. I mean, he's been decent at everything. He's not going to just absolutely wow you, but he doesn't usually have blow up outings like the last game. That was a weird one. He has a low K rate, so he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but he's plenty good. Last year he had under a 3 ERA, so this year he's in the threes. I like what he's been doing. And again, he's going against the A's, and the A's suck. So the A's are back to playing like they are now. Waldachuk Chuck for the A's. 29 earned runs given up in 36 innings. Not good, guys. That's not going to cut it. 10.5% walk rate. Also not very good. He has given up 12 home runs in 36 innings this year. That's averaging a home run every 3 innings. Yep. Hashtag math. I did it. Oakland A's bullpen. They're going to follow him up. Guess what? They're freaking awful, dreadful, miserable, crappy, shitty, everything you can imagine. They have the worst ERA in the league and the worst, all the advanced metrics, everything. So you have a bad lefty pitcher on the mound, followed by a terrible bullpen. The Rangers versus lefties, third WRC plus, fourth OPS, and by the way, they have the fifth highest walk rate versus lefties, which is pretty good when you have Waldachuk Chuck, who is a 10.5% walk rate. So they're going to get guys on base. The Rangers should easily cruise to a 2+ run victory. I love the Rangers -1.5. That is my final bet, and now it's time. We've been waiting for it. The Friday parlay. All right, here we go. It's Friday parlay time, baby. We have a parlay for +352. We have won 2 of them, and the other 2 we lost. We went 2 out of 3 on both. It is time to go 3 for 3, end the week strong. Here we go. Tigers +1.5, under 8.5. Angels, Guardians, and the Brewers money line. Put those 3 together, you get +352. Now let's talk about it because that's what I like to do. Tigers +1.5. They're playing my Mariners. This is hard to do. If you want to take Tigers money line, get a little risky, go for it because I think they could win this game. Obviously, that's why I'm betting the +1.5. Last 3 weeks, Tigers against lefties. By the way, real quick, there are 2 lefties on the mound in this game. It's Marco Gonzalez versus Matthew Boyd. They are kind of a wash. They both suck. I'm gonna be honest. They're just not great pitchers. Matthew Boyd, I actually like a little bit more, even though his ERA is higher. But I've watched Marco long enough. He throws like 80 miles an hour. It's brutal. Here we go. Last 3 weeks, the Tigers versus lefties. They are fifth in the league WRC plus, sixth OPS, and the fifth highest batting average. That is saying something. The Tigers have really turned it around against lefties. Now, the Mariners versus lefties. Oh my God, it's ugly. 27th WRC plus, 28th OPS, 29th batting average, and lately the highest K rate. They are absolutely awful versus lefties. I know Matthew Boyd is not an excellent lefty, but like I said, I think it's about 2 even pitchers, and the Tigers are hitting lefties very well. Tigers are 7-3 in their last 10 games. They are playing good baseball. I like the Tigers +1.5 as insurance. I think the Tigers can win this game, and they should win this game. But I took Tigers +1.5. Now the next one, under 8.5, Angels and Guardians. The Guardians have the highest under percentage in the league. They are hitting the under at 66.7% of the time. They're just absolutely dreadful. I mean, they're probably as bad, if not worse, than the Mariners versus left-handed pitching. So they are dead last in WRC plus, and dead last in batting average, and dead last in OPS the last 3 weeks versus lefties. And oh, by the way, the Guardians only have 19 home runs this season. We just mentioned that yesterday. 19 home runs. The next to last team has 24. The Rays have like almost 80. It's unbelievable. The Angels hit left-handed pitching better, but I do like Logan Allen on the mound for the Guardians. He's been pretty solid, 2.7 ERA, 27% K rate. I think he can hold the Angels down enough to hit this under. The Guardians are never going to score a lot of runs. They just don't. They have to manufacture a ton of runs by hitting all over the ballpark, and just hope they get lucky enough to do it because they're not going to be just hitting bombs left and right. Tyler Anderson is on the mound for the Angels. 3 earned runs in his last 11.2 innings, so he's been better. He's improved since the beginning of the season. He's plenty good enough to hold down the Guardians. Wind's blowing in like 7, 8 miles an hour. Not great weather in Cleveland. Let's take the under 8.5. The last one, the Brewers money line. My God, they should not blow this. It is Corbin Burns. I don't know who that is. Corbin Burns versus Josh Taylor of the Royals. Josh Taylor, if you don't know who he is, he's just a bullpen guy. He's just going to come in, open the game, and the rest of the bullpen will come. The Royals' fourth highest bullpen ERA. We all know they're not very good. And Corbin Burns is an ace. He's trying to get that big, fatty contract. He struggled at the beginning of the year, but he's starting to be more like Corbin Burns lately. 7 earned runs in those last 30.1 innings, and he's starting to throw the ball better. He's still not up at that extremely high K rate when he was competing for Cy Youngs like last year, but he's still solid. And the Royals' offense is just not good. Obviously, they've been better lately. I will say that, but against a guy like Corbin Burns, I love the Brewers' offense versus righties right now, especially when, or we don't even know if it's going to be righties, but they should hit this Royals bullpen easily. This was one to just help with the parlay, help with the odds. The Brewers should easily take care of business. I think it's like minus 240 or 250 on the money line for this one. So Tigers plus 1.5, under 8.5, Angels Guardians, Brewers money line. Let's put that together and get a winner at plus 352. There we are, guys. Let's go to the bets recap page. There it is. Nationals first five money line at plus 108. Red Sox team total over 2.5 in the first five at minus 120. The Rangers minus 1.5 over the terrible A's at minus 111. And then there it is, the big parlay. Tigers plus 1.5, under 8.5, Angels Guardians, Brewers money line. Let's go 4-0. Let's do it, guys. I hope everyone has a great Friday, a great weekend. Let's end on some winners. Enjoy some NBA, enjoy some baseball. Got a lot of things going on. Enjoy the hockey playoffs. Good time of the year. Thank you again for all the support. It's been so much fun, and we will talk to you guys later.